Hey guys, long time no see. So today's video is going to be my November wrap-up and December TBR. Quick good news, I am about 80% moved into my new place, so I do have my bookshelf set up here. This is my TBR shelf, and I actually organized it like a rainbow, so I will definitely be doing a bookshelf tour at some point. My other bookshelf is over there with the rest of my books, so... Okay, so the first book that I read this month was The Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson, and I did do a review of this book on my channel. Quick rundown, this book is about a princess who doesn't want to marry the man that she's supposed to marry, so she runs off to start a new life as a peasant in this little village, but the book is told from multiple perspectives. It's told from the princess's perspective. And it's also told from the prince's perspective, the prince who she was supposed to marry, who comes after her to the village, and the assassin who is supposed to kill her, his perspective. So it's really interesting, the three perspectives intertwining. You don't know for over half of the book which person is the prince and which person is the assassin. I think I gave it a 4 stars, 4.5 stars out of 5. I really enjoyed it. Definitely a fun fantasy read. I'm going to be picking up the rest of the series, so... The next book that I read was Say What You Will by Cammie McGovern, and this is about a girl with cerebral palsy and a boy who has OCD. I really enjoyed this book. It's a contemporary, been compared to Fault in Our Stars and Eleanor and Park, so if you like those books, you'll probably like this one. It is its own story, though. This book deals with not only physical disabilities, but mental disabilities and friendship and what it really means to be a friend and be there for someone when they need you, and it was beautiful. I really liked it. Pick it up, read it. The next book that I read was actually an audiobook, so I didn't really read it. I listened to it on my phone, and that was Scarlet. It is the second book in the Lunar Chronicles. So Cinder was the first book, and then it goes Scarlet, and then Cress, and the fourth one has not been released yet because Cress just came out a few months ago. So in the month of November, I did finish Scarlet on audiobook, and I really enjoyed Scarlet much more than Cinder. I did not give Cinder a very high rating at all. I think I gave it a 3 stars or maybe a 3.5 stars, but I did keep listening to the series because I thought it was kind of a fun way to pass the time when I'm driving. So the second book in the series follows Scarlet, who is like Little Red Riding Hood. These books, if you don't know, are fairy tale oriented, so they're kind of spin-offs of these classic fairy tales. So we had Cinder, which was Cyborg Cinderella. I love the way that Marissa Meyer intertwines her stories. So they all follow different perspectives, and in each book you have multiple perspectives. So Cinder was mostly just from Cinder's perspective. Scarlet was mostly from Scarlet's perspective. The third book, Cress, was mostly from Crescent's perspective, and Cress is like Rapunzel up in a spacecraft, a satellite actually. But they're really fun, they're getting really good. The first one, it took me a little while to get into it. They are pretty light, pretty, I wouldn't say cheesy, but they're definitely lighter books. They're not really serious or heavy at all. So after that, I finally got the chance to read this book that I have been dying to read since it came out in September. You probably know what it is. It's The Infinite Sea by Rick Yancey. So this is the sequel to The Fifth Wave. I finished it! Yay! I did read it over Thanksgiving weekend with my family like I planned to. A lot of people really disliked this book, and I can see why. For one thing, he uses a lot of the same words, so the number of times Rick Yancey wrote the words infinite sea, undulating depths, forever expanse, those kind of words, he used them so many times it was ridiculous. But overall, I really enjoyed this book. I loved The Fifth Wave. This one I didn't love as much as The Fifth Wave, but I did really like it. It was gripping. I mean, even though it was horrible, some parts of it were just absolutely awful what was happening. It really kept me riveted. It had my attention for sure, and that's the mark of a good book, or one of the marks of a good book in my opinion. So if you read The Fifth Wave and you liked it, maybe don't be discouraged by everyone saying that the second one isn't good. I think it's worth reading for sure. It talks about humanity and what people would do in certain situations, and it's just very fascinating, and it is dark, so be prepared for that, but it's worth reading. Okay, so those are the only 4 books that I actually finished in the month of November. I have a couple of honorable mentions here. To begin with, Cress, the third book in the Lunar Chronicles. I did listen to that throughout most of the month, and I actually, spoiler alert, finished it yesterday on December 1st, so that will be in my December wrap-up, but I listened to most of the book throughout the month of November. And then also, My True Love Gave to Me was on my November TBR, and I have read 2/3 of it, something like that. I'm really enjoying it so far. Some of them are better than others. I'm not going to talk about it too much, but I'm enjoying it thus far, so that's that. Also, Afterworlds by Scott Westerfeld. This book was my TBR jar book of November, and I tried to read it, and I didn't get very far. I got like a quarter of the way into it, and I'm going to keep reading it, so I'm not going to do a TBR jar pick for the month of December because this will continue to be my TBR jar pick. I'm just going to keep trudging my way through it. It's really slow so far, but maybe it'll pick up. I have hope for it yet. I do love Scott Westerfeld. Whoa! Almost dropped the book. But I didn't. I caught it. Okay, so on to my December TBR. I have so many books that I really want to read, and I'm almost done with my semester at college, so I'll actually have some time to read. I'm going on a vacation right after school ends, so that is next week. So I'm not sure how much time I'll have to read, but I'm going to try. I'm really happy. I'm going to have some free time. It's going to be so wonderful, and it's going to feel so luxurious to have real time to actually sit down and read. So I'm really looking forward to December. To begin with, again, I just want to finish My True Love Gave to Me. I'm almost done with it. I'm 2/3 of the way done with it. I'm going to probably do a book review on this because I have some thoughts. I have some thoughts on this book, so stay tuned for that. The next book that I am planning on reading is Positive, a memoir by Paige Rawl. This seems really fascinating. This is written by a girl who was born with AIDS, so her mother gave her AIDS from birth, and her struggles and her overcoming her hardships in life and, you know, maintaining a positive attitude even though she's HIV positive. So I am just really interested to read this one. It'll probably be pretty quick. It's pretty thin. Looking forward to this. I'm going to start it right away, so yay! Next, I decided to pick up 1,000 Pieces of You by Claudia Gray. I did talk about this one a little bit already in my top TBR pick books, and it is one of my top because I really do want to read it. So this is about a girl whose father created this device that can send people to other dimensions. So she has to go traipsing through these other dimensions to get back the device or some such thing. It sounds exciting and fun and has been compared to Cloud Atlas, which I liked, so we'll see what I think about this one. This next one is Snow Like Ashes by Sarah Rosh, and I am also very excited to read this. It's actually finally snowing here, so I kind of feel in the mood for some fantasy books, a little bit more adventure-y, a little darker, and this is about a land of perpetual winter, so I think that that is fitting for sure. This last book I'm not really 100% sure about. I'm contemplating it. We'll see how far I get in those other books, or if I pick anything up on the side that I wasn't planning on reading, but this is the tentative plan. I'm tentatively planning on reading Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I have read all of the Harry Potter books, but it's been a very long time. I read them as they came out, so the first one I read when I was like 5 years old. Literally, it's been that long since I've read this book, so I want to read it again. I want to read all of them. What gave me this idea was Maureen from Maureen Kiwi is hosting a Harry Potter-a-thon type read-a-thon that's called Harry Christmas to You, and she's doing lots of things with it that sound really cool, and I know for sure that there's no way in the world that I could read all 7 Harry Potter books and watch all 8 Harry Potter movies in the month of December with those other books that I want to read, with my vacation, with finals, with Christmas. So I thought maybe I will pick up the first one and sort of tag along a little bit, you know, participate a little bit, get in the spirit of it, and start. So let me know what you think about that. That's definitely something I'm contemplating. Okay guys, that was my November wrap-up and my December TBR. It took me a second to think about it there. I hope that you're having a great day wherever you are, and I'm looking forward to seeing you really soon. Stay happy, stay healthy. Bye guys.